Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. Actually, driving through the front yard right now because the gravel guy is here and he kind of parked right behind my truck. So, which is fine. But I was like, I could kind of get around him, but I was like, I'll just go this way. It's easier. Frankie's back from her trip, so I am on my way into town to go pick her up and do that whole mom thing. But and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna make for dinner tonight. I don't know. We just got done unloading some steer meat that our neighbor was splitting with us, which was awesome. Super cool of him to do. He raises cattle over here, and so this beef is like incredible. It's grass fed. This actually isn't from his herd that he's working with, but it's from another herd just like his, from the same guy who owns his herd. Speaking of his herd, I don't know if you guys can see out my window right here, but there, see if I can turn this so you guys can see. That's some of them right there. Anyway, they process one out of Arkansas, not too far away from where the Fremont is, actually. So anyway, that was, why is it so warm in here? Oh, that's not on. Okay. Anyway, so I just got finished unloading that whole rigmarole. That was a lot of beef. And ironically, right now, right now for Lent, I'm not doing red meat. So for another couple weeks. And then Mike right now, he thinks he's having a little bit of like a gout flare up. And one of the things that can set it off is, red meat, of course. So touch this and now it's angry. So he's trying to stay away from red meat until this flare up is over because he ate a bunch of red meat, kind of like more so than usual for like a few weeks. So anyway, so he's like, oh, and he's like, all he wants to do is eat some of this meat that just showed up. Sorry, this road's a little bumpy today. But I thought I was going to have time to film this before I had to leave to go get her, but that did not happen because life. I was, it was kind of like a revolving door today, with the gravel guy coming to give us the quote. And then, Ross was over with the steer meat and they were looking at some stuff. And you know how it is when guys get to talking. And anyway, so I was pulling off. I was, doing other stuff. I was moving footage and doing, YouTube business stuff, getting, some of my files organized for some of the videos that we shot this weekend, and just kind of doing some of the boring parts of editing, just the organization aspect of it, I guess, and kind of looking at some of it to kind of see like where I wanted to put things and what else I still needed to film to kind of round out a video or whatever. So I'm glad that Frankie's going to be back home. That's exciting. It's always funny when they go on a trip where you don't see them for a few days and then, there's a big truck coming on. I'm not going to try to get ahead of it. There's a big old Mack Peterbilt something or other. I can't tell from here. It's too far away. But that's okay. It gave me time to take a sip and smell the roses. That's fine. Anyway, it's so quiet in the house without her. Not that she's a loud kid, but it's just different when she's not there. And Mike and I just tend to do very different things when she's not there. It just kind of, like last night, he was like, hey, do you want to just go out to dinner tonight? And I was like, okay, like, we can totally do that. Like, we don't generally go out to eat much because we just don't. But every once in a while, it's like, we don't have the kid. Hey, you want to go out to eat? And he wanted to go to this place out in Okolona, but they weren't open. And I even said to him, because it was Sunday night that he said this to me. And I said, well, honey, it's Sunday. I don't, I think they're open for supper, but I don't think they're open tonight, And he was like, oh, I think you're right. I found another thing where it says they're open from like 11:30 to 1. So anyway, so because we always joke that like if you want to go out to eat on a Sunday in our town, your choices are Mexican, Mexican, or Mexican. Because we have 3 Mexican restaurants, all of which are very good, and all of them are slightly different. Um, so then it just becomes a, because some of them have, they all have some stuff that's not Mexican on their menus, but I wouldn't qualify any of them as Tex-Mex restaurants, even though one of them says they're a Tex-Mex restaurant. They don't do some of like don't get offended, people in Oklahoma. Y'all do in Texas. Y'all do some weird stuff with Tex-Mex sauces and stuff. Like I don't know. It's not Mexican food. I know it's Tex-Mex. It's its own thing. I don't get it. I think it's weird. I don't approve. It's not my jam. But anyway, like the one restaurant, No Way Jose, it has like this really good burger. I think it's called the No Way Burger, and it's got like an egg on top of it, and you can tell them how you want the egg cooked, if you want it like really runny, or if you want it scrambled or whatever, and it's real good. And then you can get like a hamburger steak, which is basically like their version of like a Salisbury steak, which I don't like, but Mike does. And they have a really, like I had last night, that's where we ended up going, and they have a salmon salad that's pretty good. I had that. And Mike had some shrimp Diablo situation, but and then they all have their things. But we were laughing because it's like when you're like, oh, where are we gonna go? Those are your options, And then the other 2 places are newer, and they're both very good. It's just a matter of what you feel like, I guess. So anyway, so we had a nice little date night last night after we finished filming and working, and we went to church together, obviously, in the morning, and church was light. There was hardly a soul in the place because the youth group was gone, and then half of our congregation was doing a walk to Emmaus, so they were gone, and so it was looking light in there. but it was still a lovely service. And then we just had the whole kind of afternoon together. We ended up having a very nice day together, which was good. And we actually got a lot done, which was nice. He helped me clean out the brooder, and we got some composting done for him, and he'd wanted to move some of Beulah's hay that she had kind of like moved and pooped in. He'd wanted to like move that over into his compost and kind of like start a new pile over there. So we did that, and a couple other little odds and ends, and just some things that was like little things that we were kind of meaning to get to but just hadn't gotten to. And so that was good. And then kind of cleaned out the garage, and you guys aren't gonna believe it, but I drove Kenny for the first time. We've had Kenny for, how long have we had Kenny for? A year? Over a year. Yeah, we've had Kenny for over a year now. Yeah. And this was the first time I had gotten in the pilot seat and driven. And I did very well. Mike talked me through it. I mean, because I've seen them drive it, but there was never a cause for me to hop up there. And I had been saying, when we got him, I was like, yeah, I want to learn how to drive it. But there was never a chance for me to like get up there and mess with it because we were always busy and I was always filming. So there was never a chance for me to just do it. So Mike was like, here, we're not doing anything earth shattering right now. Like, here, I'll take the camera and get in there and I'll talk you through it. So that's what we did. And I drove Kenny for the first time, and I didn't break rule number 1, and I didn't crash him. And so Kenny and I are now like this, and I've had exactly 10 minutes in the captain's seat, and I'm now an expert on driving tractors. So if you need any tractor work done, give me a call. Just kidding. I was teasing Frankie though. I told her, I was like, I drove Kenny, and she was like, no, you did? And I was like, yep. She's like, how'd it go? I was like, great. I'm now a professional. I have exactly 5 or 10 minutes in the chair. And she's like, oh yeah, you're graduated, you're ready. So meanwhile, she can like practically move that thing with her mind. So I have a ways to go until I'm there. But Mike did tell me, he's like, you're proficient enough now, you know, after going through everything. Um, he's like, I feel like you could go operate it by yourself now, not to do anything drastic, but if you need to go do something basic with it, you could go start it up and move it and do a little something with it. And I was like, okay, fair. You know, because I told him, I said, after we finished what we were doing with Kenny, I said, look, don't tell me anything unless I'm about to do something real bad. Just let me, because I think I got it. He's like, okay, fair. So I said, don't yell at me to stop or whatever, or, you know, unless it looks bad, or I'm about to grab like the wrong lever, like the eject button or something. And he's like, okay. So he didn't say anything, and I didn't mess up, and I made it all the way back and did the thing and got it down and put the implements down, and everything was good. So I call that a successful mission in my book. So just add that to my resume now. Me and Kenny was like peas and carrots. So yeah, me and Kenny go way back, man. Yeah, we're good. So it was good. It was a good weekend, and we had a nice time of it. But now, you know, it's Monday. I know you guys are seeing this on a Tuesday, but we're back to the grind. You know, and getting the kid back now. So, and she's on spring break this week still, obviously. So I know he's got a few things that he wants her to do, and I got a couple things that I would like for her to help me with in the house, just to kind of lighten my load a little bit. But her birthday is this week. It's actually on Sunday. She's a St. Patty's baby. So I'm very excited that, sorry, I was just checking the time here to see if I'm running late or early, if I can run an errand before I have to go get the kid. But yeah, she's a little St. Patrick's baby. So she's my little leprechaun. And so she's trying to figure out what she wants to do for her birthday dinner. We're going to a concert the following week. We got those tickets ages ago. She loves Zach Bryan, and so we're going. Her and Morgan and Beth and I are all going to, because it's Morgan's birthday too. They're a year and 3 days apart, their birthdays, so they like to celebrate their birthdays together, which is cute, I think. So that's always fun. So we're going to be doing that concert, and that's their big gift, and that's their big fun thing for their birthday. But I think we're going to end up going to like a hibachi place where they cook in front of you out in Tupelo, probably for like Saturday night or something this week. So it will be fun. We'll have a good time. So anyway, guys, that's all the news. It is the news. Me and Kenny are like this, and everything's peachy keen, jelly bean. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I hope all is well, and as always, stay blessed and safety's off.